Check my names. Baby, how you feeling? Check my names. Baby, how you feeling? Ooh, child. Tired of the bullshit. I'm just tripping off. Keep it moving. Yes, Lord. I need some Gucci in there. Swim there. Go Gucci. I'm not the guy. No eyes. You know you was fine. You can touch the sky. I know that it's hard. You have to try. If you need advice, let me sympathize. He don't love you anymore. Just walk your fine ass out the door. I do my hair. Check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Baby, how you feeling? Girl, need to kick off your shoes. Gotta eat breath. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I wanted to do this one this morning, this little bit of training, because I think a lot of times we start some sort of new fitness plan or healthy lifestyle and we get frustrated very, very quickly. And the number one thing that people get frustrated with is that they are not losing weight. First off, I want to tell you the scale is not the full picture. So I will talk a lot more about that. That's one thing that I believe in. Whenever I used to always be self-conscious about my weight because my body composition is different than others. So a lot of times I weigh more than people think that I weigh. And so I was always really nervous to tell people how much I weighed because it was like this number that doesn't really mean anything, but that we put so much into. So the number one thing people say, though, is that they are not losing weight. And I want to tell you some tips along the way of how you can make sure that you maintain or continue to lose weight. Whew, sorry, let me try this again. Let me have a little more coffee. I wasn't ready. All right. Why you are not losing weight, what you can do to make sure that you continue to lose weight through the process. So one reason you're not losing weight is you have unrealistic expectations. So often we expect that we are going to lose all of the weight right at one time, right? We expect that we are going to drop 10 pounds that first week because, I'm eating salads and I'm exercising. Truth is, it didn't take you 1 week to put all the weight on that you currently have. All of the weight that you're trying to lose, it didn't creep on in 1 week. But unrealistically, we expect it to come off like that, right? Most of the time, that weight has crept up on us over time. So the same way that we gradually gain weight, we have to gradually lose that weight. So you need to have patience. Have patience with yourself. And I know this is one of the hardest things to do is to be patient because we want results right now. But you need to focus on some of the other things instead. So instead of focusing on the number on the scale, focus on how you feel. Do a check-in on yourself on, do I feel leaner? Do I feel less bloated? Do I feel stronger? Things like that will help you when the scale does not. The other thing I want to say about the scale, though, while we're on it is never, ever, ever get on the scale unless you are feeling amazing. If you are not feeling amazing, do not step on that scale because that scale is not going to tell you anything that you want to hear. If you feel amazing and you step on the scale and the number's not what you expected, then you can at least be like, you know what? I don't care what that scale says because I feel pretty awesome. But if you're feeling down on yourself and you get on that scale, you're going to feel even worse. So never get on the scale unless you feel amazing. The other thing about having unrealistic expectations is that your body composition might be changing. So although the scale is not changing, your shorts fit better, your shirts fit better, things aren't as tight on you. You need to concentrate on those things because your body mass, when you have more muscle, you will see maybe a flux where your weight goes up. And a lot of times people panic and they're like, oh, this isn't working. It's okay. As long as you're seeing other changes, you're seeing your muscle definition, you're seeing things fit better, don't worry so much about what that number on the scale says. So that was the first one, is unrealistic expectations. Number 2, you are not eating enough. Now, this is going to freak some of you out. Let me be honest. Freaks me out too. I am a reformed yo-yo dieter. I have tried them all. Here's my favorite one, though. I don't know if this is where I was going to talk about this, but here was my favorite yo-yo diet that I would do, or fad diet. It's not really a fad diet. It's something I made up. So whenever I wanted to lose 10 pounds, because realistically, I only looked at diet and exercise as something I did when I wanted to lose weight. The only time I ever worried about what I ate or how much activity I did was when I was trying to lose weight. That was it. I didn't look at it as part of a healthy lifestyle. So I would do this thing where I would start out by waking up in the morning and I would not eat breakfast because I don't naturally wake up hungry. So that was an easy skip for me. So I'm going to skip those calories altogether. I'm just going to not eat anything until I get to lunchtime. Then I would get to lunchtime and I would eat 1 can of Healthy Choice soup. And then I wouldn't eat a snack all afternoon. I would just drink a boatload of coffee to get me through the afternoon. And then dinner would come and I would eat very low calorie dinners. And to be honest, like, it's not like anybody in your family as an adult is looking at your plate and saying, oh, you know, mom's not eating that much. No, you just sort of put a little bit on your plate and you're like, no, I'm good. And you convince yourself that's enough. But what happens on a low calorie diet is you're starving and you're miserable, and you might be able to sustain it for a couple of days, but then eventually you're going to lose weight right off the bat. You're going to lose weight, right? And then you're going to get to the weekend or 2 weeks in, and then you're like, I deserve a treat because I've been so good, right? So this was my other favorite technique. If we were going to go out for dinner to have like a treat meal, I wouldn't eat all day. All day long, I would not eat a thing so that I had all my calories for dinner. Then I'd eat whatever I wanted. I'd wake up the next morning feeling like garbage, and then I'd feel guilty, and then I'd feel like I failed my diet, and then I would be even more intense about upping my exercise and lowering my calories. And it was a horrible, horrible cycle. And I don't know if you've ever been in that cycle, but like, that was my plan to lose weight. And all I ever did was lose the weight, gain it back. Lose the weight, gain it back. Super low calorie fad diets don't work because you never want to go below 1,200 calories, right? You never want to go below 1,200 calories because that's not something you can sustain. You need to look at it as a long-term plan. If you cannot do it for the rest of your life, then it is not something that you need to do right now in order to lose that weight. Your body will go into starvation mode or preservation mode, and it won't let you drop the weight because it's so worried about burning calories that it is preserving every calorie that you have and turning it to fat so that you can sustain your body. So never go below 1,200 calories. That is just dangerous and it will not help you long term. Number 3 is you are not eating all of the food groups, okay? And I'm not going to tell you that that diet plan that you're following, if you're following a certain one that cuts out food groups, let's say keto, where you don't eat carbs, if that is working for you, I'm never going to tell you to stop doing something that works for you, but I'm going to tell you some of the science behind if it's not working for you, why it might not be working for you, okay? But I'm not here to tell you to stop something that's working for you. I just know from my experience, keto has not worked for me because of the fact that a healthy diet usually involves eating all of the food groups. If you are a child of the 80s, you remember the food pyramid where you had all the foods and everything was in the right balance. If you don't eat enough carbs, well, if you eat too many carbs, your body stores them as glycogen, or I should just say carbs in general are stored as glycogen. I'm going to get sciencey here for a second, so bear with me. So for each gram of glycogen, so again, carbs turn into glycogen, each gram of glycogen holds 3 grams of water. So when you don't eat that glycogen, all of that water, you're not holding on to that either. So just think of it as a magnet. You have glycogen, you have water, they're a magnet, they're together. So when you drop that gram of glycogen, you're dropping that water. So when you're not eating carbs, you're dropping water weight. But what happens when you eat the carbs again? The glycogen increases again, the water attaches to it, your weight goes up. So a lot of times when people are on keto and it's not working for them, it's because when they start eating the carbs and reintroducing the carbs back in, their body picks up that water and they feel like they failed when really they haven't gained weight. It's just the water weight they lost when they cut the carbs. You'll see a lot of fitness people. I know Autumn Calabrese is one who she does carb cycling, and she only ever does it right before an event or a show or something she needs to do, and she only does it for 2 weeks because she says it's just not good for your body. your body will eventually get used to that carb depletion, and it won't work as well for you. So it's okay to do carb cycling in the right way, where you can drop some quick water weight, just knowing that you're probably going to gain a lot of that right back once you start eating carbs again. You want to make sure you're eating whole food sources of unrefined carbs like beans, fruits, and vegetables. The thing about those is you're getting all that extra fiber that goes along with the carbs. So yes, people will tell you that fruits are sugar, right? But there's fiber and other nutrients and vitamins that are included in that. So it's better than eating a candy bar because it's not the same way that your body processes sugar from a candy bar. Hope that made sense. Protein and fat will help you make you feel full. The protein helps you build the lean muscles, helps you repair your muscles. The fat helps regulate your hormones. So if you are, finding that your weight fluctuates a lot or that you're stuck, maybe you need to add a little bit of healthy fat into your diet. And I'll be honest, there's certain words that do freak me out a little bit. And I've realized over the years that I had an unhealthy relationship with food. When people told me that I needed to eat more calories and that I had to put more fat into my diet, I freaked out. But it worked, right? Like I eat the right number of calories and I put the right amount of healthy fat. I'm not saying go eat a pint of Ben & Jerry's. In fact, I had a big victory the other night. I bought my whole family Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Everybody had their own pint of ice cream. And I had the pint in my hand and I was like, you're going to eat that whole pint if you bring it home. So I just put it back. I did not buy myself a pint of Ben & Jerry's. So it's not about just filling your diet with fat. It's about the right healthy fat. So think avocado and olive oil, things like that. So that was number 3, is that you were not eating all the food groups. Number 4, you are not working out hard enough. This is a gut check moment, okay, right? Because you can say you're working out. You can say, well, I went for a walk around the block. Or you can say that I did that exercise routine, right? You can say you did those things. But how hard did you really work, right? I'm a weirdo. I like to be completely exhausted and completely a hot mess at the end of my workout, because then I know that I did the best that I could. If I am not pushing to the point where I have to modify or take a break, then I'm not pushing hard enough, right? If it seems hard, that means it's working. The only way that you are going to get stronger is to push past the point where you want to stop, right? If you have to push pause for a minute, find your life again, and then keep going, then push pause and keep going. If you need to modify because you cannot do one more jump, don't stop doing the exercise, modify. Yesterday I was doing the badass jumps where you jump up and your feet touch your butt and your hands go back. And I had done so many of them that I just couldn't do anymore, but I didn't want to quit. So then I just did the modified version. Modified does not mean that you have failed. Modified means you have pushed as far as you could and you will not quit. Just don't stop. I don't care if you just have to dance it out with DJ Jesse on the Morning Meltdown. It doesn't matter, right? Just keep moving for the entire time. If you are not tired at the end of your workout, you are not working hard enough. Your body needs that, right? Because when you slow jog or easy exercise, yes, you are burning calories, but your body's metabolism is getting back to a regular normal rate much faster. When you make your body work hard, your metabolism is on overdrive trying to catch up with what in the world you just did. And when you do that, then you're able to keep your metabolism burning. You're able to burn more calories in the long run. So you need to make sure that you are working as hard as you can, especially if you're only doing 20 minutes of a workout. Yesterday I did a 21-minute cardio session. Kicked my ass. Not even gonna lie. Not even gonna try to lie to you. 21 minutes kicked my ass because I worked as hard as I possibly could, because I knew it was 20 minutes and I needed to get everything out of it. So make sure you are pushing as hard as you can. I get it. Not every day is gonna be your best workout, but the best that you can do, you need to try to do it and just bring it. Okay. Number 5 reason why you may not be losing weight is you are a cardio queen. Guilty. I love cardio. I know I'm a huge weirdo on that one. A lot of people don't understand it, but I love cardio. I love something about getting my heart rate up and getting really sweaty, and it makes me feel like I really accomplished something. But cardio alone is not the only way that you are going to build a strong, lean body. You need to have strength training in there too. And that is because strength training builds your body's engine, right? So the bigger the engine, the more fuel you burn. Think about a car. The bigger the engine a car has, the more fuel it burns, right? Same thing with you. The bigger the engine in your body, the more fuel you will burn. And so you have to put some strength training in there as well. It's good for all of your cardio activities. So I like to run or jog, or, I like to do that on the weekends. That's kind of sort of my thing. I jog, I'll do 5Ks, but I'm not a competitive runner by any means. I do notice that my running is so much better when I'm doing my strength training. So because I'm strength training my abs and my legs and my arms, all of that working together gives me more energy when I'm running. So it builds that, like I said, it builds the engine inside of me, and then I have more energy to do the things that I want to do. So cardio alone will not get you there. The other thing I notice on cardio alone is a lot of people like to do just the treadmill. Let's be honest, the treadmill's a bore. And how many days in a row can you run on that treadmill before you are bored out of your mind, right? So for me, I have to find other ways to get my cardio in, which is why I do the Beachbody workouts, because there's always something cardio I can find. But you do have to add some strength training in. So Morning Meltdown provides the balance. So there are strength training workouts, but if you are looking for more strength training workouts, let me know, because there are a ton that you can do. One of my favorites is Lift 4. So if you're looking for something that's a balance and not, it's only 4 days a week. That's why it's called Lift 4. It's a great muscle builder. So number 6, this is a good one. Number 6, why you are not losing weight is you are trying to change your whole lifestyle at one time. You are trying to take everything that you are doing, you're labeling it all as bad, and you are trying to flip all of it at one time. You cannot flip your whole life at one time and be 100% successful, right? You can't take all of the things that you've been doing and say, this is all bad, I'm not going to do that anymore, and now I'm going to do this. Because it sounds like starting a healthy lifestyle is just one change, right? I'm just going to start a healthy lifestyle, one change. But it's not. It is following a diet. It is learning new recipes. It's shopping for new food. It's getting up early or figuring out how to fit your exercises in after work. It's increasing your activity, fighting cravings, drinking more water, tracking your food. It is a lot. And when we look at that and we say, I need to change everything right now, and we expect to be 100% perfect at everything, it gets frustrating and you burn yourself out. Because the second that you don't drink all your water for the day, or you didn't track your food, or you didn't do your exercise for the day, you're like, there I go, I failed. I failed today. Do not look at failure like that. You have to look at those things as moments that you can learn from. So you can't change your whole life at one time, because once you get overwhelmed, you are like that deer in headlights, right? You get overwhelmed by all of these things you have to do, and you're like, I don't know what to do. And then you're not really consistent with any one thing because you're trying to be consistent with everything. And so you really have to break it down and say, what is my priority? So for me, exercising has become such a habit for me that I don't have a problem fitting my exercise into every single day, right? No matter if I do it in the morning, on my lunch break, in the evening, it's something that is such a habit to me. I feel weird if I don't do it. It's like brushing your teeth, right? Like you never walk out of the house without brushing your teeth because you'd feel weird. I feel weird if I don't exercise. So it's because for 3 years, I've been exercising consistently. So get into the idea of habit stacking. What habit stacking is, get really stinking good at something, right? Whether it's your exercise, it's your nutrition, it's drinking water, it's something. Get really, really good at it, and then put another habit on top. So for me, it is, my exercise. And then my water is a habit that I've stacked on top. So I'm really good at exercise and water. My nutrition, not always the best. haven't been using my tracker the way that I should for nutrition, haven't been tracking my food, haven't been measuring out how much I'm eating and paying attention to all of that. So that is my habit that I need to stack on top and get really, really good at, because all of these things become a habit. When you look at your daily routine, there are so many things that you do every single day out of habit. My body wakes me up at the same time every day out of habit. I'm trying to change that time and bump it earlier, but if I don't set an alarm, I will consistently wake up at 5:30 in the morning every single day without an alarm, because that's my body's habit. Think about it. Are you a morning shower person or an evening shower person? Just all these little things that we do that are daily habits that we don't even think about. Your exercise and your healthy nutrition can become one of those habits. You just have to do it consistently. And again, celebrate along the way. It is not going to be a perfect A to Z route, right? Like if you're saying, I'm never going to skip a workout, I'm never going to eat another piece of pizza, I'm never going to have ice cream again. When you put all these things like out there that they are never going to happen or that they always have to happen, then you're really setting yourself up to feel bad when you don't reach it. So celebrate when you do them. You know, like today, I'm celebrating that I worked out every single day this week, right? I haven't done that in a while. So every single day. I haven't done an online workout or a trainer-led workout every single day. Like a lot of times, if I'm gonna do my run, I skip my trainer-led workout. This time, I am doing my trainer-led workouts in addition to my running. So that's a big step for me, because a lot of times I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna go run instead. I need the trainer-led workouts because they have the strength training that I need. If you don't like lifting weights, it's okay. You don't have to lift weights. You can use body weight and you can use resistance bands. You don't have to have a lot of equipment in order to do the strength piece of it. But things like burpees and things like push-ups and those type of body weight exercises, and there's a ton of them, those type of things can build your strength up even if you don't own weights. I know I kind of went off track there. I'm sort of like that. My brain sort of squirrels on me. I have all these notes to try to keep me on track. So I don't know if I've even, I don't even know if I've hit half of them yet, but I'll let you know when I do. Okay, so that was 6, was that you're trying to change your whole lifestyle at one time and it's just too hard. Number 7 is you eat more than you think you do. Guilty. That's me. You know, I am, again, a child of the 80s. We are from the Clean Plate Club, right? Whatever your mom put on your plate, you had to eat it. You could go to a restaurant, you could order anything you wanted as long as you ate it all, right? Like that's the type of mentality I grew up in. So when I go somewhere, I often look at my plate and I'm like, oh, I ordered it, I've got to eat all of it. And you don't, you know? One of the rules of thumbs is when you go to a restaurant, more than likely they're serving you a portion that is double what you were supposed to eat. So if you take that portion and you cut it in half and you ask for a to-go box right from the start, I know, sounds crazy. Right from the start, you say, can I get a to-go box? And you take half of your food and put it immediately in that to-go box, you probably will be full after you ate that first portion. You don't need that second portion, and then you can have that for lunch the next day because hopefully you've made a good choice and you have chosen something that is healthy so that you've got another healthy meal for the next day. But either way, taking that portion and putting it in half, like if you ever look at the salads you get in a restaurant, they're huge, right? And I know they're just a salad, right? But they have all the good stuff. Like if you get a chicken salad and you have bacon and you have cheese and avocado and eggs and like all that good stuff. If you're from Pittsburgh, which a couple of us are, I think, but if you're from Pittsburgh, we put French fries on our salad and it's delicious, right? I know we take something that's completely healthy and then we're like, well, just throw a big slab of fries on it, but it's amazing. Obviously, I don't need all of that when I'm ordering a salad. So it's better to just take half of it and put it away for later. But the Clean Plate Club is another thing that, you know, we grew up with, and you have to sort of break through that mentality. The other thing is if you're a mom, maybe I'm the only one who's done this, I doubt it. Do you eat off your kids' plates, right? Like they order something and then there's like one chicken tender left or there's a couple fries left or, you know, there's whatever. Do you ever eat off of their plate? Do you eat off of their plate as you're clearing the table and maybe they had like one bite left and you're like, oh, I'll just eat that? Or the handful of goldfish crackers that they left because they were just done eating the goldfish crackers? Or when you're giving them the snack, you're eating a little bit of what you're giving them. These are those untracked calories that we don't pay attention to. So I want to encourage you to track your food. I'm going to try that this week. That's my, fingers crossed, that's my goal for this week. I am tracking, not necessarily my calories, but I'm tracking what I'm eating, because you can learn a lot by tracking what you're eating. You can start to see a pattern. You know, let's give an example. A lot of times I work at my desk. I'm at my desk right now, but I work from home. And a lot of times I will get busy or I'll have a conference call come up and somehow I miss lunch. I just skip lunch, right? So I don't eat lunch, and then here it is, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm starving, right? When you are to the point where you have missed a meal and your body is starving, it always craves the same thing, because it is going to crave the fastest source of energy that it can possibly crave, or the fastest source of energy that will get into your body and boost your blood sugar right back up. Do you know what that is? Sugar. Your body will crave sugar when you are the hungriest, because it knows your blood sugar's down. We need to boost this back up. Natural defense mechanism. So where are you going at 2 o'clock in the afternoon? You're hitting up the vending machine because there's candy in there, right? True story. That was my story a lot before. I would always be craving something sweet. I would make a poor decision. And then I'm hungry a half an hour later because the calories I ate were not good calories. They were empty calories. So when you look at your food log and you're like, oh, I noticed that when I get too busy to eat, I just crave sugar and I eat something bad. Try to have healthy snacks available. Like if you're working at an office, have it in your desk. If you're at home, make sure you have something healthy that is grab and go, so that you are not hitting up that vending machine or not looking for that sugar. So maybe you have almonds or fruit or something that is easy for you to just keep around, that is a quick source of energy. So if you do miss a meal, when you are hangry, you're not making a bad decision knowing that you're just going to be hungry in an hour. You know, if you can find some fruit or some vegetables, something else besides that quick hit of for your blood sugar, you will be much better off. But again, tracking your food will help you to really keep track of what your patterns are, so that you can bust them. If you don't know what you are doing, if you don't know that you're grabbing a handful of goldfish crackers every single time that you deliver a snack to your kids, then you're not going to be able to break that habit because you don't even realize it's happening. I have a friend that I talk to. She's a teacher, preschool teacher, and she set a goal for 30 days to not eat the snack that the kids were eating. Sounds kind of funny, right? But she didn't even realize at first that she was doing it, but every single day she would pass out snack and she would help herself to a snack. She didn't need that snack. She wasn't hungry. She was only eating that snack because she was serving the kids the snack. So that was her goal. She busted her pattern by not eating snack with them for 30 days. So it's funny, I still have the sticker on the bottom. Like, I don't know how those stickers are so sticky that I can never get them off when I'm washing them. I got to get a better method for that. But yeah, sticker, totally. Okay, so 7 was you eat more than you think you eat. 8 is, let's see how many more. This is next to last one. I have 9 tips. So 8 is you don't get enough sleep. Show of hands, who is constantly exhausted? Right? It happens. I don't get enough sleep. I need to get into a better pattern, but it is recommended that you get 8.5 hours a day of sleep. Who gets 8.5 hours of sleep a night? If you get 8.5 hours of sleep a night, you are a unicorn, because I don't know how you do it. So it says that dieters who slept 5.5 hours lost 55% less weight than those sleeping 8.5 hours. So if you are that unicorn who is getting the 8.5 hours, God bless you, because you are doing great things for your body. And I need to talk to you because I need to get on your bandwagon and figure out how you are doing it. But if you are not getting enough sleep at night, there's a couple things you need to do. Again, here's my habit stacking. I'm going to do better at this too. You need to establish a good nightly routine. You need to know what time you need to sleep so that you can get up with the right amount of hours of sleep. So if I want to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I have to go to bed at 8 at night. Okay, probably not going to happen, but can I shoot for 9:30, right? I could shoot for 9:30. That'd be better off than what I'm doing right now. So if I shoot for 9:30, I need to back my routine up and say, okay, what time will I get my nightly shower? What time will I start winding down? What time will I read my book? Like, put that all in and figure out what time you need to do those things. Do not take your electronics into the bedroom with you, right? If you need to charge them, put them across the room. Putting them across the room does two things for you. One, you are not aimlessly scrolling Facebook or Instagram when you should be sleeping, right? Because all it takes is one post and you're like scrolling through and you're like, oh, and then you start reading more and reading more and reading more. And before you know it, you've lost an hour in social media, right? It happens. And also when you're doing that, you're keeping your brain awake. So even after you put the electronic device down, your brain is still going. So an extra hour of scrolling in bed doesn't let your brain unwind the way that it should. So put your phone and your electronics across the room, but also by putting them across the room, when you set your alarm for the morning, you have to get your butt out of bed to walk across to shut your alarm off. More than likely, once you are out of bed, you are good to go, right? It's when you have it right next to the bed and you can just hit snooze that you get in trouble. Let me show you what my problem is. See this? My Apple Watch. So I put my phone across the room the other day and I was like, I got this. I'm getting up. No snooze button today. My phone's across the room. And then my Apple Watch has my alarm on it. So I was able to just snooze and go back to sleep. So now I have to put my watch and my phone across the room so that I actually have to get up. I am a snooze button addict. I'm not perfect here, guys. I am a snooze button addict. So another habit I'm working to break. I really should write down all of the habits that I'm trying to stack on top of each other so I can see which ones realistically I can accomplish right now and which ones maybe I'll have to wait. But get into a good bedtime routine. Make sure that you are not scrolling and stuff in bed. Make sure that you have that routine and try to stick to it every single night so that when you go into your bed, your brain knows, oh, it's time to go to sleep now. And then you will actually be able to get more restful sleep for the hours that you're sleeping. And number 9, this one is kind of crazy. Another reason why you are not losing weight is you are sitting too much. You spend a lot of time sitting. I work 8 hours a day, full time, on a computer in my office here. This chair I am in pretty much has an imprint of my butt on it because I am here all day long. And even though I work out 30 to 45 minutes a day, that's not enough to counteract 8 hours of sitting on your butt, right? If you work a job where you are sitting a lot, you will see that even though you're working out, you're still, think about how many hours a day you are physically in that chair. So try to set a timer for every single hour. Maybe it's a little reminder on your watch or on your phone to get up, even if it's just for a minute, to do some body squats, to walk around a little bit, to stretch, to make sure that you are getting up and moving your body because it is very important. I used to work in an office setting and my friend and I, every time we would go to the bathroom, we would take a lap around the building before we went into the bathroom. Just something extra to get up and get moving. You know, if you can take a walk on your lunch break, do that. If you are at home and you find that you are sitting a lot, which more than likely, if you're a stay-at-home mom, you are not sitting very much. But let's just say you're sitting around. If you are sitting around, set a timer and, walk up and down the steps or walk down the road or go get the mail or whatever it is. Just every hour, try to get up and get moving because, again, you need to counteract those 8 hours. So, yes, working out for a half an hour is that much of your day, right? That much of your day. So small for your whole day. But the amount of time that you spend sitting is this much, right? Like if you did a little color coding graph on a piece of paper, I know I'm nerding out again, but if you did a color coded graph on a piece of paper and looked at the amount of time that you worked out versus the amount of time you sat, it's huge. So make sure you get up and get moving as much as you possibly can. So I'm going to recap all of my tips again because that was a lot. and I talk fast. So, one, you have unrealistic expectations. You want everything to happen right away, and you need to learn to be patient with yourself. So it's really important you take before and afters so that you can see the actual changes that are happening with your body. But again, it may take weeks before you see the actual changes, because remember, you are building sustainable changes. You don't want to lose the weight and go back to it in 3 weeks, right? You want to lose the weight and stay there forever. You do that by building sustainable habits. So, sorry, I got sidetracked again. So, number one reason you're not losing weight is unrealistic weight loss expectations. Number two, you don't eat enough. So, again, back to the tracking. Make sure you're tracking your calories and how much you're eating. Number three, you are not eating all of the food groups in the right balance. There is a balance to it. So, if you need help figuring out a meal plan that balances all of that, let me know, because you do need to be eating fats and proteins and carbs and fruits and vegetables all in the right balance. When those are out of balance, your body does not know how to process all of that in the right way. So number four, you are not working out hard enough. Again, push yourself, guys. This is your goal, right? This is what you wanted. So you have to make sure, if you're only going to get 20 minutes a day to yourself to be able to do something for you, do the damn thing, right? Number five, you are a cardio queen and not using strength training. Number six, you're trying to change your whole life at one time. Baby steps, guys. Baby steps. You are building a lifestyle. Your lifestyle now is not the same lifestyle you had 15 years ago, especially if you have kids. Your lifestyle is very different, and that was your normal lifestyle back then. You built a new lifestyle. Now you have this lifestyle. Now you're trying to build a different lifestyle. Baby steps. Number seven, you eat more than you think you do. Stop eating off your kids' plates. Stop eating just because you're bored. Stop eating because you think you have to eat everything on your plate. Buy smaller plates too. That's my tip, because I use smaller plates sometimes. The actual amount you're supposed to be eating fits perfectly on those smaller plates that you can buy at the store. Number eight, you do not get enough sleep. I know, moms, we are completely exhausted. I know getting more sleep seems like an impossibility, but we really have to try. Even if we can sneak an extra half an hour in, do the best you can with that. And number nine, the last tip I had, is you spend too much time sitting. So I have been sitting here for almost 40 minutes now, which means you have been sitting for almost 40 minutes now, and we need to get up and move. So those are all of my tips. I hope they were helpful to you. If you guys have any questions, you always know where to find me. But thank you so much for joining me this morning, and I will chat with you later.